Hey, what's up YouTube? Victor with PhoneArena here, and today we'll talk about two devices from two companies known for their style. Sony with the Sony Xperia Z3 compact on one hand, and Apple with its iPhone 6 on the other hand. How do they compare? Which one is the better one? Now first we have the Xperia Z3 compact, which is a petite device with a lot of muscle power. It features one of the latest Snapdragon 801 system chips, powerful processor. It's got a 20 megapixel camera and it ups the ante in design, while the iPhone 6 has a 4.7-inch display, the new Apple A8 chip, and an 8 megapixel camera on the back. And of course we have Android on this one and iOS 8 running on the iPhone 6. How do they compare? Let's find out. The Z3 compact builds on the legacy of last year's Z1 compact, but ups the ante with classier materials. Two pieces of glass on the front and back, and translucent plastic on the side. The separate patches of plastic on the four edges of the phone are a practical touch that helps protect the phone from impact. The iPhone 6 on its part is made of good old aluminium that gives the phone a very sturdy yet premium feel. Apple has also made it remarkably thin, and both are equally lightweight. In terms of overall size and dimensions though, Sony's handset does live up to its compact name, and it is the smaller, more pocketable one. In terms of buttons, the Z3 compact has on-screen navigation keys and a bit too small physical buttons, while the iPhone 6 has large and clicky metal keys, plus Apple's phone has the security bonus of a fingerprint scanner built in the home key. The Z3 compact, however, has one neat feature that the iPhone 6 does not have. It is water and dust proof and can withstand immersion in fresh water of up to 5 feet deep for as long as 30 minutes. The Sony Xperia Z3 compact features a 4.6-inch IPS LCD display with a resolution of 720 by 1280 pixels, while the Apple iPhone 6 sports a slightly larger 4.7-inch screen of a similar IPS LCD kind and a resolution of 750 by 1334 pixels. Both are nearly equally sharp at around 320 ppi, which is fine but falls short of current Quad HD flagships. In terms of colors, Sony has gone way off with the screen of the Z3 compact, and it comes with a very distinct bluish cast. Color temperature is way off at 10,000 K, and its gamma of 2.67 is also way above the recommended 2.2 value. Admittedly, Sony does include a color control option so that color purists can compensate for the bluishness of the screen, but we wish that the screen was just pre-calibrated well. The iPhone 6 on the other hand has a great display when it comes to color. It is just very slightly on the cold side, but overall colors are calibrated well with a pleasing, well-balanced depth. For outdoor viewing, the iPhone 6 has also got the upper hand, as its brightness shoots up to a peak of 606 nits, way above the 436 nits peak of the Z3 compact, which makes the iPhone easier to read outdoors on a bright sunny day. The Sony Xperia Z3 compact with its Android 4.4 KitKat on board and the Apple iPhone 6 with its iOS 8 are members of two very different competing platforms. Sony's custom user interface on top of Android is a fairly clean and clutter-free skin. It boasts nice, zippy animations that add a bit of extra flair, and a selection of well-made Sony first-party apps that act as a replacement to stock Google ones. A couple of standout Sony features include the option to record your screen on video, as well as the remote play option that allows you to hook up a PlayStation 4 and stream games right to your phone. Apple's iOS, on the other hand, is also a very simple and user-friendly platform. iOS 8 has not evolved much in terms of visual style, but it does add in functionality with widgets in the notification center, a new health app, and support for Apple Pay. Now, basic functionality is equally well covered on both. The phone apps on both are quick to open and have simple utilitarian looks. Messaging is similar, straightforward experience, and with the addition of custom keyboards on iOS, Android and iOS are now finally on par. The iPhone 6 comes with the latest of Apple silicon, the A8 chip. The Xperia Z3 compact, on the other hand, uses Qualcomm's Snapdragon 801. In daily usage, both deliver a fairly smooth experience, but while you can still notice that ever-present slight stutter on Android, iOS manages to feel a bit more fluid and lag-free. Benchmarks show that the iPhone 6 has a clear advantage over the Z3 Compact when it comes to CPU performance, and the GPU is also a bit faster on the iPhone 6. The Z3 Compact comes with 16GB of internal storage, but luckily you can expand it via microSD cards of up to 128GB. Apple, on the other hand, traditionally does not support expandable memory, so you get the basic models with limited storage. You have either 16GB, 64GB or 128GB model. The Z3 Compact comes with Google's Mobile Chrome as the default browser, while the iPhone 6 sports Apple's Mobile Safari. In terms of surfing speeds, both browsers perform well, but the iPhone 6 still has the upper hand in both how fast it loads pages and as well as in scrolling and zooming around. In terms of connectivity, Apple has jam-packed the iPhone 6 with LTE band, so you can use the device easily internationally, and LTE speeds on it reach up to 150 megabits per second for downloads. The Z3 Compact, on the other hand, also supports LTE connectivity with identical speeds, and other connectivity options on both include Bluetooth 4.0, dual-channel Wi-Fi, GPS and NFC. The Z3 Compact features a 20 megapixel rear camera with a single LED flash, while the iPhone 6 comes with an 8 megapixel main shooter with dual LED flash, and both handsets lack optical image stabilization. The camera app experience is oftentimes crucial for getting a shot right. In Sony's case, it is a bit too complex. Settings outside the superior auto mode are confusingly spread in non-intuitive places. For instance, trying to shoot an HDR requires you to change into manual mode and switch to 8 megapixel resolution before you can enable the option. Camera speed is also not among the Z3 Compact's strengths. The iPhone 6, on the other hand, has a very simple yet capable camera app. It loads up very fast and is also very snappy to capture images. The new finger slide to adjust exposure options comes in also very handy. When it comes to image quality, the Z3 Compact captures very good images with sufficient detail and lively color, but occasionally the camera misjudges white balance and produces images with a slight weird color cast. The iPhone 6, on the other hand, is among the very best cameras out there. It stands out with its consistently good pictures in various conditions. Images on it turn out with pleasingly vibrant colors, great dynamics and good detail. In terms of video, the petite Sony handset can record 4K at 30 fps or 1080p at either 60 or 30 fps, while the iPhone 6 can only record 1080p at either 60 or 30 fps. Now, 4K on the Z3 Compact is a nice extra, but it comes with some limitations. For instance, you can record only 5-minute long clips. In terms of the more common 1080p recordings, both handsets do a good job with pleasing colors, but the Sony handset tends to hunt more for focus and it does worse with noise. Both devices do a good job when it comes to media consumption. Sony in particular has a suite of media apps that look great and offer rich functionality. Sony's Album app is a nice gallery replacement that supports pinching to zoom in and out, and you have some basic photo editing bundled in. The iPhone 6 on its part uses the simpler looking but still very functional gallery and other media applications. When it comes to speakers, Sony has dual front-firing stereo speakers, but contrary to expectations, they come with a bit muffled sound, lacking clarity and depth. The iPhone 6's single speaker on the bottom of the phone is a bit louder, but most importantly, produces cleaner, more pleasing sound. The Xperia Z3 Compact offers good but not great sound quality, with the biggest issue being clarity in the earpiece. Otherwise, the earpiece is loud enough, and on the other end of the line, call quality is sufficiently good. The iPhone 6, on the other hand, is a great performer in terms of call quality. It can get very loud for noisier environments, and sound on both ends of the line is pleasingly clear. A nice extra in the iPhone 6 is support for Wi-Fi calling, a carrier-dependent feature that currently only works on T-Mobile. When it comes to battery, we have some surprises in these otherwise small devices. The Z3 Compact in particular, with its 2600 mAh battery, scores remarkably good on our battery life test and lives up to Sony's 2-day battery life promise. The iPhone 6, on the other hand, features an 1810 mAh battery that has a mediocre longevity, almost half as much as the one on the Z3 Compact. With the iPhone 6 under heavier use, you might find yourselves going for the charger even before the day has ended. Sony also has the nice Ultra Stamina option on the Z3 Compact. It severely limits the phone, but does squeeze the most out of the battery, while the iPhone 6 does not have such an option. In conclusion, we ought to say that each of these devices comes with ups and downs. The Xperia Z3 Compact first is the more affordable device at around $500, that's a full off contract price, while the iPhone 6 costs around $650, that's the full retail price. However, for this higher price you get a slightly better performance, you have a higher CPU performance, and the images that it captures are also pretty good, consistently good, while the Xperia Z3 Compact has a good performance that is just a slight step below the iPhone 6, and its images are not that consistently good. They're also good but not as great as on the iPhone 6. And if we look at the ecosystems, it's up to your preference. The iOS ecosystem has some apps first and it has a bit more apps, while the Android platform also has a rich ecosystem and is the more open one. So if you value this, the Xperia Z3 Compact is the way to go. Now for a more detailed comparison between the two, make sure to go to PhoneArena.com. Thanks for watching.